The Commonwealth countries which would most easily fit in this new bloc would include Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom, a group collectively known as CANZUK. Collectively, these four countries have a combined GDP of $6.5 trillion, and they account for US $3.5 trillion in global trade. That means that a CANZUK global trade bloc would be the fourth largest economy in the world.
In this video, we are diving deep into one of the boldest and most overlooked moves Canada could make to secure its future. As tensions with the US rise and economic uncertainty spreads like wildfire, it's time to ask, what if we stopped depending on America and started building something better, with allies who actually have our back? What if I told you Canada has a golden opportunity to lead a new alliance with countries that share our values, language, culture, and even our economic ambitions? It's called CANZUK, and if you have never heard of it, by the end of this video, you will be wondering why Canada has not pursued this harder, and why now might be our last chance.
While it is unfortunate that right now we are in this predicament with the United States and President Trump is certainly putting a lot of pressure on, there is a silver lining that we do have an opportunity right now to explore closer ties with very close allies abroad, being Australia, New Zealand, and the UK. And I think it really should be a priority for prime ministers of all four of those countries to get.
Let's face it, Canada's relationship with the United States has never been more fragile. Sure, we share the world's longest undefended border, but that does not mean we are truly safe, especially economically. Trump's administration has once again threatened auto tariffs, pushed for protectionist, America First policies, and even taken jabs at our dairy and lumber industries. The trade war is not a threat anymore. It is happening. Don't forget softwood lumber. We have been fighting with the US for over 40 years on this. In 2024 alone, tariffs cost Canadian lumber exporters over $2 billion. Washington says it's about fairness, but in reality, it's about power. And Canada, we are the sidekick that keeps getting slapped. Even worse, look at how American political rhetoric is shifting. CANZUK, a geopolitical alliance that could completely redefine Canada's future. The name comes from Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom. Four countries, one common language, shared democratic values, similar legal systems, a deep cultural connection, and a combined population of 138 million. But this is not just about sentiment or nostalgia for the Commonwealth. This is a serious economic, political, and strategic opportunity. Collectively, the CANZUK nations generate a combined GDP of over $6.5 trillion, making them the fourth largest economy in the world, just behind the EU, the US, and China. These countries already have trade relationships with each other, but mostly on a bilateral level. CANZUK proposes something bolder, a free trade zone, free movement of people, and shared foreign and defense policy coordination. It's not just a dream either. In a 2021 poll by YouGov, 76% of Canadians supported the idea of CANZUK. Australians, 73%, New Zealand, 82%, and Brits, 68%. That is huge political capital for any government bold enough to act on it. Think of CANZUK as the Commonwealth 2.0, but with teeth. This is not just cultural unity, it's economic survival in a world that's becoming more fragmented and volatile by the day. Before we go any further, please like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Subscribing to my channel is not gonna cost you anything, but it's gonna help me big time. Thank you. Now back to our topic. How CANZUK can save Canada's economy. Let's talk numbers. If Canada fully joined CANZUK with free trade and labor mobility, the Canadian GDP could grow by $100 billion over the next decade, according to Commonwealth Freedom of Movement Organization. Right now, Canada trades over $30 billion annually with Australia, the UK, and New Zealand combined. But that's just scratching the surface. With full trade integration, experts project trade could surge to $120 billion. Why? Because these economies are complementary, not competitive. Canada has what the others need: energy, agriculture, raw materials. The UK brings in finance, manufacturing, and world-class universities. Australia and New Zealand offer critical minerals, tech innovation, and massive demand for infrastructure and construction goods. Just look at the example of Canada-UK trade post-Brexit. Despite Brexit-related disruptions, trade between the two nations grew by 13% from 2021 to 2023. Imagine what happens when barriers are removed entirely. And here is the kicker. Unlike the US, these countries do not slap us with surprise tariffs. They respect WTO rules. They negotiate. They don't bully. For Canadian businesses, especially small exporters, this means predictability, reduced red tape, and new markets that want what we sell. CANZUK would not just be smart, it would be transformational. Now, here is where CANZUK gets really exciting. The free movement of people. That's right. Just like in the European Union, citizens of CANZUK countries would be able to live, work, and travel visa-free between Canada, the UK, Australia, and New Zealand. Let's break that down. A young Canadian grad could take a job in Sydney without a visa. A British entrepreneur could open a business in Vancouver. A Kiwi nurse could work in Toronto to help ease our healthcare crisis. And yes, Canadians could retire in New Zealand without immigration headaches. This is not a radical idea. Canada already has a youth working visa agreement with these countries. But CANZUK takes it further, making mutual recognition of qualifications, streamlined relocation process, and dual residency much easier. Economically, this would increase labor market flexibility and help combat aging populations, a major issue in all 4 countries. Canada's median age is now 41.8, and our birth rate is 1.4, well below replacement. We need skilled workers, and who better than culturally aligned, English-speaking professionals from trusted allies? Australia faces similar challenges. The UK's healthcare system is short 130,000 staff. Canada is short 100,000 in just healthcare alone. CANZUK could be a win-win on every front. Fewer immigration bottlenecks, broader economic dynamics, and a generation of young Canadians with access to 4 of the safest, most prosperous countries in the world. We live in a dangerous world. China is getting more aggressive. Russia is destabilizing Eastern Europe. The US, we all know what they are doing. So what does Canada do? Right now, we rely on NATO and NORAD. But with Trump threatening to withdraw from NATO unless allies pay up, how long can we count on that? Here is where CANZUK matters. These 4 nations already collaborate on defense via the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, the most powerful and trusted intel sharing partnership on Earth. CANZUK could expand that cooperation, joint military exercises, coordinated defense spending, cyber defense, naval deployment strategies in the Indo-Pacific. Together, these nations already spend over $160 billion annually on defense. That's more than Russia. And don't forget geography. Canada and the UK are close to Europe and the Arctic. Australia and New Zealand are close to the Pacific and Asia. Together, CANZUK offers global strategic coverage. In short, we stop being passengers in someone else's war games and start becoming strategic players with allies who actually pick up the phone when we call. So, why hasn't this happened yet? Politics. Governments are slow to act, cautious about backlash, and obsessed with the US. But the window for CANZUK is open right now, and Canada must lead. We have the economic leverage, the population size, and the most to gain from diversifying away from the US. The UK is post-Brexit and looking for global partners. Australia and New Zealand are tired of playing ping pong between China and the US. They want stability. CANZUK offers that. But if we wait, if we cling to the one-sided US relationship, hoping things get better, we will miss this opportunity forever. It's time for Canadians to demand bold leadership, to push for trade diversification, labor mobility, and an alliance rooted in mutual respect. Imagine waking up in 2035, part of a prosperous, secure CANZUK partnership, no more economic bullying, no more cultural cringe, just a Canadian that stands on its own, with powerful allies at its side. If you believe Canada deserves better, share this video. Let's make CANZUK a national conversation. Drop a comment to share your opinion. Do you support the idea? Would you live or work in another CANZUK country? This is not about leaving the US behind. It's about building a future where Canada leads, not follows. Please subscribe for more bold, unfiltered conversations about Canada's future. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.